प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Dhamishpat from Sutra Sasma.
Hare Krishna devotees, Pranam. Let's wait for a few minutes to let them join from the temple.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Radha Srila Sanatanera Pranadhana hai, Srila Sanatanera Pranadhana hai, Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shatasri Srimati Divine Grace Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya BPT Founder Acharya Savior of the whole world Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shatasri Srimati Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की मथुरापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गंगा मैया की यमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र मैया की श्री श्री गौर निताय की श्री सनातन गोस्वामी की श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine.
Hare Krishna. So very happy to welcome all the devotees, brahmacharis who have come from different temples in Bangalore for this brahmachari sangha. Haribo. So every month or alternate months we have this program here. So we welcome all the devotees and also we are blessed to have the presence of His Grace Sundarshyam Prabhu. Haribo. So last sangha also Prabhuji was here and coincidentally this time also Proji is present with us. So today Proji will be speaking on the topic of the lessons from the life of Goswamis. I think especially Sanatan Goswami today. Hare Krishna.
Hare ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। On one of the six Goswamis. Today I chose to speak on Srila Sanatana Goswami, who is the eldest among all the six Goswamis in age. He was born in 1488 or so, just 2 years younger or maybe elder also to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Rati Manjari in Golok Vrindavan, sometimes said to be Lavanga Manjari. Manjaris are the ones who are small girls of the age 5 or 6, and they assist gopis who are assistants to Srimati Radharani, whose only goal is to be always engaged in the service of Lord Krishna. So these manjaris have access everywhere, where even gopis cannot enter, their manjaris enter. So one such manjari is Lavanga Manjari or Rati Manjari, who appeared in this world as Srila Sanatana Goswami in the Gotra of Bharadwaj Muni. He was as the eldest son of Kumar Dev, and he was very humble from the beginning of his life only. One of the topmost characteristics of Sanatana Goswami is his humility. Of the four associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed to the whole world different qualities, like Ramananda Rai was famous for sense control. He would be bathing, dressing, decorating, teaching dance to Devadasis, who were young girls who dance for the pleasure of Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. He would do all this without getting disturbed. Thought only, contemplating on what I said, only may agitate our mind. But he would practically do it, but he would be undisturbed because he's Vishaka in Golok Vrindavan. So he was famous for sense control, Haridas Thakur for tolerance, then Damodar Pandit for simplicity, indifference. He would be very straightforward in his dealings with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would even instruct Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was for that. And the fourth one is Sanatan Goswami. As such, devotees say both Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, but particularly Srila Sanatan Goswami was famous for his humility. Humility is most important. in particular, those who wish to enter in Sri Golok Vrindavan Dham, what is required is absolute unconditional humility. That Srila Sanatana Goswami himself writes in his book Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. In Vaikuntha Lok, also humility is required to go to enter there. But in Golok Vrindavan particularly, what is required is absolute unconditional humility. Absolute means to full degree. Unconditional means not dependent on any material circumstances. When we are deprived of some privileges forcefully against our wish, we may tend to appear humble. Or when we are sick, we may appear very humble because somebody has got cold and he's sneezing every now and then. You can look at his face, it looks like he's very humble, but that is just circumstantial. When he's out of that cold, then in proper health, again he will be with arrogance and etc. But in all circumstances, one who is humble. That was Srila Sanatana Goswami. And unconditional. So absolute unconditional humility is the entry pass or entrance to Sri Golok Vrindavan Dham. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says the 43rd, 44th and 45th branches of the tree of Lord Sri Chaitanya that he describes in Adi Lila, these were the three: Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami and Anupam, three brothers, the sons of Kumardev, and their mother was Revati Devi. They were born in Saraswat Brahmin family. It is said from Karnataka only. Saraswat Brahmin family of Karnataka. But some 7 generations back, the ancestors had moved to Bangladesh or Navadvip, that side, Bengal side. And they were coming there. They were from childhood very brilliant. They were very scholarly, very beautiful, very intelligent. They knew several languages: Sanskrit, Bangla, Persian, Arabic. In fact, Sanatana Goswami also would discuss with the Muslims. He was working under Nawab Hussain Shah eventually. So he was very expert in that language also, their language also. When they were growing, because they were very intelligent, and Nawab Hussain Shah wanted some very powerful personalities under him, especially some Hindus who were adored, respected, worshipped by other Hindus. So then somebody told him, these 3 brothers are very powerful. They are respected by all Hindus. They should work under you. Sanatana Goswami, all these 3, they were Santosh, Amar, Anupam. So they were called by Nawab Hussain Shah. He asked them to be under him. They had to become Muslims. They were not willing to, but he literally forced them. He threatened them that if you don't agree to be under me, then I will kill many Hindus and I will destroy Hindu temples. So they thought about it deeply. This person is very cruel. He will do that, and so many devotees, temples will be unnecessarily destroyed. So then they accepted that and they became Muslims under him. So Sanatana Goswami was the prime minister, Rupa Goswami was finance minister, and Anupam also was there. So 3 of them, practically they were so noble that Nawab Hussain Shah entrusted all the responsibility of entire kingdom to them only. And he would go conquering more and more territories to increase his kingdom. And these 3 were literally the rulers. They were very devoted. They were not materialistic people. They were completely devoted to Supreme Lord Krishna. They would have Brahmanas coming to them and they would discuss Krishna Katha with them, particularly Srimad Bhagavatam. Sanatana Goswami would take great pleasure in discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. Once in his dream, a very effulgent Brahman offered Srimad Bhagavatam as a gift to him. And he was so happy with that dream. And next morning, that Brahman practically came and gave him Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam became his life and soul. When they were converted to Islam religion by Nawab Hussain Shah, their names were changed. They were made Sakar Malik and Dabir Khas. In Ramkeli, the kingdom of Nawab Hussain Shah was there, where these 3 of them, 3 brothers, were working under Nawab Hussain Shah. So their residence was in Ramkeli only. And they were having so many facilities with them. They were literally the ministers. They were ministers. So much wealth with them. So they arranged for entire Vrindavan to manifest around their palaces. They had Roop Sagar, Sanatan Sagar. Even now, these places are available. We can go and take darshan. And they had kind of Gupta Vrindavan. They would take pleasure in Radha Kund, Sham Kund, all these were present for them. Sanatan Goswami's spiritual master was Vidya Vachaspati, was a great scholar. But the mother of these three was not happy, mother and father both, that our sons are working under Muslims, and those Muslims are against Hindus. They are killing cows, eating flesh, and all these kind of things. They were not happy. They wanted their sons to be surrendering to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So again and again, Kumar Dev and Revati Devi, they would request them. And they literally forced them, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas now and he's in Puri. Why don't you go and meet him? But then meeting was difficult. Then they were writing letters. Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they were writing letters to Mahaprabhu that we are in such a situation. What should we do? They wrote many letters, but no reply came. After a long time passed, then one reply came. And that was also kind of code language. Paravesanani Nari. It was Sanskrit shloka. Nobody can understand that except Rup Sanatan. They were very intelligent. So they understood what is the meaning. That a lady, housewife, who is in love with somebody else apart from her husband, her paramour. So she has to do her household duties very meticulously, very nicely, so that the husband or anybody else, none of the relatives will ever suspect her. And eventually, when she continues doing like this, there will be time when she will be able to meet her paramour, because they will not suspect. Then she will have freedom. She will be able to meet her paramour. So they understood clearly what does this mean. This means that we should continue serving under Nawab Hussain Shah, and without anyone's knowledge, that we are wanting to dedicate our lives to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they were continuing like that, and in the times to come, they will get the mercy of the Lord. They understood that. So they were going on, and Lord also wanted to deliver them. He took sannyas in 1610, for 1510, 1510, and then he went for South India tour for 2 years. So very soon after that, somewhere between 1512 to 1515, when he actually went to Vrindavan, before going to that actual trip, he went in the Kartik Mas, 1515. Little before, he made one more attempt to go to Vrindavan. Several attempts were made. First, when he got initiated at Gaya by Ishwar Puri, he tried to go to Vrindavan. Then second time, when he took sannyas, then also he wanted to go to Vrindavan, but Nityam Prabhu tricked him. Then he went to Shantipur, eventually Jagannath Puri. Third attempt was this, when he requested his associates, Nityanand Prabhu, Mukund, then Jagdanand Pandit and Damodar Pandit. And then he goes to Vrindavan. He doesn't go to Vrindavan. He doesn't want to go to Vrindavan, because something like Jagannath Puri is here and Vrindavan is here. So he should go like this. But he went kind of northwest. And that is where, at the Bengal-Bihar border, that's where was the kingdom of Nawab Hussain Shah, that is Ramkeli. So he went there, and Lord was in ecstasy. He was dancing. He also had his associates to certain point. So Haridas Thakur was with him, Nityam Prabhu, they were all there with him. They did not go with him ahead, but they had gone up to this point. So that's where he was dancing. Long story, but to cut it short, that's where these two brothers, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, they wanted to meet the Lord, but they cannot go in the daytime. So then they thought what to do. In the night time, they changed their dress and they met midnight went to meet they went to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. They were very humble, so they took a blade of grass in their teeth and they offered their obeisances. And this was the perfection of their life. First time they are meeting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they were very happy. And with all humility, they surrendered their lives and they said, both of them, all of three of them, that we are quite low born and we are also associating with low born people, low class people. Niche jati, niche sangi, karo niche kaj. We are doing low class activities. So Lord, please deliver us. They were very humble. So humble that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart melted. And he says, he gives them initiation that very moment. Aji haite tomar naam rupa sanatan, dainya chhad tomar dainye phate moraman. That tomorrow onwards your name, today onwards your name is Rupa and Sanatan. Their names were Sakar Malik the Virkas. So today onwards your names are Rupa and Sanatan. And the first instruction to them is Dainya chhad. Give up humility. When we get initiated, we are requested by spiritual master, please be humble. That is too far. At least be a little more humble than our current status, so that you can chant properly. Spiritual master wants us to chant. He gives the beats for that reason. So for that, humility is required to be able to chant properly. So he requests us in that way. But these two were so humble that Mahaprabhu is saying, Tomara dainye fate moraman. Because of your humility, my heart is melting. So hence proved that they are the examples of humility, epitome of humility. Sanatana Goswami particularly. So they were initiated, and then Mahaprabhu was requested by Sanatana Goswami that, Lord, you are going with so many of these people. Associates are there, few in number, but people were joining Mahaprabhu. In every town he would cross, the hundreds and thousands would join. So by now, when he was in Ramkeli, there were literally thousands of people. When Mahaprabhu would walk, they would be all walking with him and would create a lot of disturbance also in one sense. That's what Mahaprabhu detected next place in Kanai Natshala. So Sanatana Goswami said, Lord, Vrindavan is not to be visited with such big, huge crowd. Vrindavan is a very quiet place. One should visit alone or with one or two more people. And also Vrajavasis are very simple people. When they see you with so many more people, so many thousands of people, they will think you are a cheap magician. They will misunderstand you. So please consider this. Mahaprabhu says, okay. And then next morning he gets up and he proceeds more towards Vrindavan. But next place he goes is Kanai Natshala. And that is where he reconsiders the advice given by Sanatana Goswami, that it is appropriate. These people are creating a lot of things there. So better I go back to Puri. And some other time I will go to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Obviously, the Lord had gone there only for the deliverance of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, and that was done. So then went back to Puri Dham. He had also requested Sanatana Goswami to visit him later on. Rup Sanatan, all were requested like that. In Ramkeli only, Mahaprabhu made that famous prediction, Prithvite Achayata Nagaradi Gram, Sarvatra Prachara Hoive Mora Nam. So your meeting seems to be for youth preaching or whatever kind of preaching. So we can take inspiration, we can pray at the lotus feet of Rup Sanatan and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that may we be instrumental in spreading Krishna consciousness wider, better, in Bangalore particularly, by their blessings. Today they are present. The pastime is being enacted. So then it will happen definitely. Then very soon Sanatana Goswami wanted to get out of all his duties, official duties. He did not want to continue. So he was thinking what to do. Meanwhile, Rupa Goswami escaped. He went to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Sanatana Goswami could not, because he also had to take care of some duties and he cannot just do like that. So he was going on, but he took a sick leave, that he was sick. So then that was allowed and he was there at home. Time was passing by and he was not getting cured only. So then Nawab Hussain Shah was quite concerned what happened. One thing, he also considered them to be like his younger brothers, and also so many royal duties were to be performed. So then the soldier went, he came back and said, Sanatana Goswami doesn't seem to be sick. He's sitting with 10 Brahmanas and nicely he's hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, discussing with them. I did not find him sick. So now Bhushan Shah was surprised. What is this? So he came with so many others. And when he came, immediately all who were present with Sanatana Goswami, along with Sanatana Goswami, they all stood up. Prabhupada writes in the purport, though he was so cruel, but still he is the king and he is representative of the Supreme Lord. Lord had appointed him in that position. So such a person should be respected. And Sanatana Goswami, anyway, very humble. So he stood up, all others stood up. Seeing them discussing Srimad Bhagavatam and Sanatana Goswami not being sick, Nawab Shah became very angry. He said, what is this? You claim to be sick, but you don't appear to be sick. And you are cheating me. This is not good. Now come back for royal duties. Then he said, nothing doing. I don't want to come. You please relieve me from all these duties. He said, no, you cannot. So Sanatana Goswami was not agreeing. Then he said, then I will arrest you. He said, whatever you want, you may do. So he was arrested. According to here, it is written that maybe His Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj said, seems that His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj has done research. And he says for 17 months, Sanatana Goswami was in that jail. That jail is also present now also. A huge jail. But our Acharya, Manjari from Golok Vrindavan, he was there for 17 months, purified that jail. So he was there. And after around 17 months, then he thought, now it's quite a long time. I should escape from here. Rupa Goswami, when he escaped, he had kept some 10,000 gold coins with a grocer and told him that whenever required, you may use them. So this was the time Sanatana Goswami got them. And the jail keeper, he requested that please release me. You are such a nice Muslim peer, Jinda peer. You are very nice, what you call, saintly Muslim. So please allow me. That will be a great favor. As soon as I am released from here, I will go to Mecca. And the benefit I get, you will also get. So please. He said, no, but how can I do like that? Nawab will catch me. So he gave him some few $1,000, some gold coins, some 7,000 or something, and said, please take this. And then that was very alluring for that soldier, that gatekeeper. So he was still reluctant. When Nawab comes to know, then he will kill me. Then he said, don't worry. You tell Nawab Hussain Shah that I wanted to respond to nature's call. So I was taken to Ganges with all the handcuffs and chains. Then that time you jumped in the Ganges. I jumped in the Ganges. And then it seems he drowned and died. We could not trace him out. So Sanatana Goswami is dead. That's what you can tell him. And that was a good idea. That person accepted. And Sanatana Goswami was released and he ran away from there. So he went running. He went through jungle path. Then he was going to Vrindavan because he had been knowing that Mahaprabhu is in Vrindavan. But before reaching Vrindavan only, in Varanasi, he came to know that Mahaprabhu is here in Chandrasekhar Vaidya's house. So he went to Chandrasekhar Vaidya's house. As he reached outside the house, Mahaprabhu knew that Sanatan is reached by now. So he asked Chandrasekhar Vaidya, just see, is there some devotee outside? Then Chandrasekhar Vaidya goes out of the house and he looks around. He finds no one. He comes and he says, no, Mahaprabhu, there is no one there. He said, really? Is there no one there? No, there is one Muslim fakir is there, but there is no devotee there. Mahaprabhu said, no, not Muslim fakir. He is a devotee. He is Sanatana Goswami. So get him in. And Mahaprabhu only goes, and Sanatana Goswami, when he sees Mahaprabhu, he pays obeisances, and Mahaprabhu rises him and embraces him. So Sanatana Goswami is perfection of life. He is in the embrace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is what he wanted. And Mahaprabhu gave all assurance. Now all your troubles are gone. You are stuck there in that materialistic life. Now you have got release and now you can continue your duties. On the way, when Sanatana Goswami is coming here, in one particular kingdom, his cousin brother Srikant Sen, he was the king there. When he saw Sanatana Goswami in that state, I think one more story remained. So he requested Sanatana Goswami that you please come to kingdom. But then Sanatana Goswami said, no, I want to go to Vrindavan and meet Mahaprabhu. But because Sanatana Goswami was not agreeing, ultimately Srikant Sen offered him one very costly blanket, saying that at least accept this blanket as a token of my love, because you will require it as you are traveling through jungles, forests, etc. So Sanatana Goswami accepted. He had kept it on his shoulder. One more thing, when he was proceeding, he was with Ishan, and he had some 8 coins kept with him, gold coins. When they were crossing at one particular place, they were in one hotel. When even before they reached that innkeeper, that hotel owner, he had his assistant who was a palmist and he was astrologer. He told this gatekeeper, this hotel keeper, that the person you have in your hotel now, he is very rich. He has 8 gold coins. So as he came to know, this person was very cruel. He would kill the such kind of travelers and he would take their money. So he wanted to kill Sanatan Goswami and Ishan and take those 8 coins. But Sanatan Goswami, the way this hotel keeper dealt with him, he understood something is wrong here. How he is so cordial, so loving, something is problem. So then he asked Ishan, do you have some wealth? And Ishan said, yes, I have 7 gold coins. Then immediately Sanatan Goswami said, why do you keep death knell with you? He understood that's why this person is so loving, caring. Death knell means before killing a criminal in the olden days, they would ring a bell very loudly. And that the way it would be rung, from that only people would understand now somebody is getting hanged, that some criminal is getting hanged. So this is money that you carry is going, it's a sign of your future death. It will lead to death. So why are you carrying that? So Sanatana Goswami took 7 coins from him and then gave it to the hotel keeper, saying that, please, sir, take this. So he said, no, it's okay, fine, no, not required and all that. And he said, no. If you don't take, then somebody else will kill. That person revealed then that we knew that you have this and we wanted to kill you also. But now because you are only giving, we don't want, you keep it with you. He said, no. If you don't take, somebody else will take. So better you take it. So you can see these 6 Goswamis, they are the epitome of renunciation. How renounced he was. He did not want any money. So that person became very happy. He got 7 gold coins. Then he arranged for them to cross a river, boat, etc. When they sat there, again Sanatan Goswami, that person had revealed to him that we had heard that you have 8 gold coins. So you are only giving now. But 7 gold coins only were given. So Sanatan Goswami, again, very shrewd, very intelligent. He asked Ishan, do you still have some money? He said, I have 1 more gold coin. So Mahaprabhu said, this Sanatan Goswami said, why are you still attached? I told you so much. So you are not fit to travel with me. You go back. So he had to go back. So Sanatana Goswami again traveled and he reached here. So when he was there in Varanasi, he would be invited by Tapan Mishra. A lot of he had so much humility that he would not accept prasadam with Mahaprabhu. Though Mahaprabhu would ask him, no, please come and take prasad with me. He would say, no, I will take later. And then he would take it with Tapan Mishra. He wanted Mahaprabhu's remnants. He got them also. And because he was in the Daravesh, what you call, he had a long beard. For so many days he was passing through jungle. So he had not been able to take bath properly. So Mahaprabhu told Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar Vaidya that give him bath and give him new dress, etc. So when he was given bath, he shaved. When the time came to receive clothes, he was given very nice dhoti. But then he said, no, how can I take a new dhoti? Whatever just old dhoti you have, just give me. And then whatever was given to him, old dhoti, he tore off into 2, like one and then next one. He made 2 dhotis out of 1 dhoti. So this is the renunciation of Sanatan Goswami. But then he also had that costly blanket on his shoulder. Every time he would interact with Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu would look at that shoulder and that blanket. So Sanatan Goswami is so intelligent, he understood that Mahaprabhu is not happy with my carrying this blanket. So better I give it off. So he was wondering what to do. He went to the Ganges. There was one washerman there. He was washing his old quilt. And Sanatana Goswami offered him exchange offer that you take this costly blanket and give me your old quilt. That person said, sir, why are you joking with me? I am poor and you are saying like this. Who will exchange such a nice costly blanket for my old quilt? He said, no, I am not joking. I really meant it, Then he said, really? Then so happily he exchanged and he gave his old quilt to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami kept it on his shoulder. And that time when he meets Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu is so happy. And he tells him that, Sanatan, you have renounced everything of this world. And when you have that costly blanket and you go for begging alms, what will people think? Who should give alms to whom? You seem to be richer than me. So that was the last trace of material attachment in your life, and you have given it off. Now you are completely free. And this is very nice. So you can see how that shloka says, Mahaprabhur Bhaktagan Vairagya Pradhan Jaha Dekhi Prita Haya Gaur Bhagavan. Mahaprabhu's all associates, even Grahasthas, are famous for renunciation, Vairagya. They are not attached to anything material, money, etc. Mahaprabhu's rule only, anybody who travel with him should not carry any money. He would travel and all associates are there. After going long distance, then he would ask, so is there anyone carrying any money, anything? They would say, no, Mahaprabhu. You only expect us not to depend on anything material. We should depend only on Krishna. So we have not been carrying anything. Mahaprabhu says, okay, then you can travel with me. Otherwise, if anybody has brought any money or anything, please go back. You are not fit to travel with me. So this was a standard. So we are all associates of Mahaprabhu down the line. Mahaprabhu's pastimes are still going on. We are all followers of Sanatana Goswami. So we should consider that we should not be depending on anything material. We should depend on Krishna. For other devotees, we should arrange. If we are going for yatra, for them, journey prasad and things like that. About ourselves, we should not worry. We should have faith. Krishna will protect. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. He will make arrangement. Prabhupada is such a nice example of this principle. Going to West, such a long journey. First of all, on a cargo ship, but hardly carrying any money. 40 rupees was just a namesake only, because he never used it there in America. When he came back after the stroke to India, from Delhi to Mathura, he came by car. That is the time the bill was little less than 40 rupees. But that fellow cheated, the driver cheated, and he took all the 40 rupees of Prabhupada and he ran away. He went away. So that was the time Prabhupada used 40 rupees. Otherwise, all throughout in America, he did not use that money. So Prabhupada is the best example of that. So then after some days, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was approached by Sanatana Goswami. He asked him, kya ami ke niyamay jare tapatra hai, iha nahi jani, ke mone hit hoy. That who am I don't know. And what is my duty? Why the threefold miseries are troubling me? I don't know. In the worldly language, people call me Pandit, a great learned scholar. But I'm such a fool that I think it is so, that I'm really a learned scholar. So could you please guide me? What is my duty? What should I do? So that is the time in Varanasi, on the bank of Ganges, in Dashashwamedh Ghat, for 2 months, every day, Mahaprabhu was instructing Sanatana Goswami. It is famous as Sanatana Shiksha. Rupa Shiksha comes as the 19th chapter of Madhya Lila, then 20th, and then next 5 more, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. So many chapters, 5 chapters around. They are all about Sanatana Shiksha. And the Sanatana Shiksha begins with Jivera Swarupa hai, Krishna Nitya Das, the eternal constitutional position of living entity. It's that he is the servant of Lord Krishna. So very nice Shiksha. In that, everything was revealed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. Based on this only, eventually Sanatana Goswami gave us so much of philosophical understanding. Many things are there in that. We may read that Sarvagya astrologer, how he had his wealth, and but he lost it. He was not aware that he has wealth. A long story is there, how basically in bhakti, all the wealth is stored. When he was being revealed different things about philosophy, when Mahaprabhu came to the discussion of avatars, different types of incarnations, 6 types of incarnations, Lila avatar, Guna avatar, Purusha avatar, Shaktavesh avatar, Yuga avatar. When it came to Yuga avatar, so Sanatana Goswami particularly asked, so who is the Yuga avatar for this Kali Yuga now? So Mahaprabhu is very humble. So Mahaprabhu says, Sanatan, you know it well. Why do you ask such kind of crazy questions? Not required. He's so intelligent. So then Sanatana Goswami goes to Shri Vrindavan Dham. Mahaprabhu leaves for Puri Dham. He had already gone to Vrindavan, so he proceeds. Then Sanatana Goswami goes to Vrindavan. There he meets Subudhi Rai. long story about Subudhi Rai, but then he was told by Mahaprabhu to render services to all the devotees who would visit Vrindavan. Particularly many devotees from Bengal would visit, Gaudiya devotees. They would be accustomed to eating rice, but in Vrindavan one gets only rotis. So they would have a difficulty with roti digesting. So then they require oil massages and some other things like rice kind. So he would arrange everything for them. He was the one, Subudhi Rai, who gave a tour of all the 12 forests to Sanatana Goswami. And then Sanatana Goswami left for Puri. He wanted to meet Rupa Goswami also, but then Rupa Goswami was not in Vrindavan. He had left. So Sanatana Goswami left for Puri. Through Jharkhand forest, he reached Puri. But in Jharkhand forest, there was some dirty reservoir of water. He happened to drink that water and he developed some particular disease by which he had itching sores. They would release pus, etc. from his body. All over the body, that kind of thing was there. When he reached Puri Dham, particularly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had arranged for him to stay with Haridas Thakur. Also, Sanatana Goswami being very humble, he did not feel it appropriate to stay anywhere else. And Haridas Thakur was not acceptable according to worldly calculation. He was born Muslim. He was already given the place, Siddha Bakul. So Sanatana Goswami also stayed with him. Every day morning after taking darshan of Lord Jagannath, Mahaprabhu would come to meet Haridas Thakur. And that's where Sanatana Goswami was also there. They would both at once rise from their seats and they would offer obeisances to Mahaprabhu. As soon as Mahaprabhu would accept that, he would embrace Haridas Thakur and then he would embrace Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami would feel so awkward. He would try to go far away from Mahaprabhu because his body was having so many itching sores, so much pus there. But Mahaprabhu would forcibly, he would grab him and embrace him. After the embrace would be over, Sanatana Goswami would see how that pus is on different parts of the golden body of Mahaprabhu. He would feel very awkward, very bad. What is this? Mahaprabhu every time forces me. He embraces me. But he had no option left for that. So then he was wondering what to do. Something needs to be done. Every time Mahaprabhu forces me. So then he talked with Jagdanand Pandit that this is what happens every time, every interaction with Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu embraces me and all my pus, etc. touches his body. I don't know what to do. How could I avoid this? Mahaprabhu forces me. Then Jagdanand Pandit guides him. For you, all your family members, Mahaprabhu has given Vrindavan Dham. So what are you doing over here? It is not good for you to stay here. You can go to Vrindavan. Already others are there, so you could also be there. So he thought, oh, that is a very good idea. When he came to meet Mahaprabhu and told him that this is what Jagdanand Pandit suggested, so I am also planning to go there. So then Mahaprabhu was so angry. He said, oh, who is that Jagga? He's a small kid. How dare of him to guide you, instruct you like this? What is his position? You are the guru for the entire world. You are my guru. That way, Mahaprabhu refuted the idea of he's going to Vrindavan. That means he has to continue staying in Puri only. So then Sanatana Goswami was still wondering what to do. That long pastime is there. So there Mahaprabhu says, oh, now I understand. Sanatana Goswami says, I understand how much you love Jagdanand Pandit. You are giving him the sweet juice of chastisement. And to me, you are feeding the nimb juice, very bitter juice of glorification. And then Mahaprabhu says, no, Sanatana, not like that. You are very dear to me. Then he says, anyway. So Mahaprabhu leaves that place. After that, Haridas Thakur glorifies Sanatana Goswami that you are so dear to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu says that he loves you. That time Mahaprabhu tells also that don't worry about this, all this disease, that I embrace you also. For me, you and Haridas Thakur are like my two children. Mother has two children, or mother has a child. So the child passes stool. It's very dirty, very stinking. But then for mother, it is like more fragrant than Chatushma, which has 4 ingredients, aguru and keshar, etc. So it's very fragrant. So for mother, it is like that. So that is how I see all the pus or whatever that comes out of your diseased body. So don't feel bad. Mother never feels bad about the stool of the child. And Mahaprabhu says one more thing. And apart from that, I'm a sannyasi. For a sannyasi, there are no dualities. This is good, that is bad. This is diseased body, this is a healthy body. So sannyasi doesn't differentiate like that. So don't worry about this. As far as your disease is concerned, it will go away soon. And it does go away. One point of time, Mahaprabhu embraces him, and the disease is no more there for Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami also then, before that, he decides to commit suicide by throwing his body under the cart of Jagannath. This is just before. Sequence is slightly changed. So he doesn't tell anyone, but Mahaprabhu understand. He's Sarvagya, he's in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So he says, Sanatan, what is this? How can you think of committing suicide, throwing your body under the cart of Jagannath? You just can't do it. And looking at Haridas Thakur, he says, just look at this man. He has offered his body, his existence to me fully. And now he is trying to destroy that body. His body is my property. How can somebody destroy somebody else's property? That is not proper. So that is the time Haridas Thakur glorifies Sanatana Goswami, that how much Mahaprabhu loves you. He considers your body to be his property. And Mahaprabhu also tells that I have so many things to do in Sri Vrindavan Dham, because my mother has told me to be in Puri. I cannot go to Vrindavan and I cannot do the things which I want to do. So all those things I want to do through you, through your body. So you cannot destroy your body. A lot of things to be done through your body for me. So Haridas Thakur is very jubilant, very happy, and he glorifies Sanatana Goswami, that you are so fortunate. Mahaprabhu considers your body to be his property. And he also glorifies, Sanatana Goswami glorifies Haridas Thakur, that you are appointed as Namacharya, that one who teaches the whole world how to chant the holy name of the Lord. Some people behave very nicely. Sanatana Goswami is glorified by Haridas Thakur, but they do not preach. And some people preach but do not behave properly. But as far as you are concerned, Sanatana Goswami glorifies Haridas Thakur. As far as holy name is concerned, you teach by your life also, and you preach also. So you are glorious. So both glorify each other. Sanatana Goswami is continuing to stay in Puri Dham. So one point of time, he was at the sea beach. Mahaprabhu was in Yameshwar Tota. He takes his prasadam, lunch, and then he asks Govinda, his servant, where is Sanatan? Could you please call him? I want to meet him. So he is informed at the beach, sea beach, that Mahaprabhu wants to meet you. Then Sanatana Goswami comes running, but he comes by sea beach. So it's very hot sand. This was somewhere in Vaishak month, that means May month. If we had been to Puri Dham in that period, April, May, it's so hot in Puri. Any area in Puri is very hot. What to speak of sea beach and the sea sand. And Sanatana Goswami comes running over that sand. He reaches very quickly, and Mahaprabhu expresses his surprise that how you came so quickly, which path you came by. He says, I came by sea beach side. And he said, but what about Simhadwaram gate? Why didn't you come from that side? That is very cooling. He said, no, how can I come by that side? Because there are so many pandas, the pujaris, worshippers of Jagannath, they keep passing by that road. By mistake, if they touch my body, they will be contaminated. Their service to Jagannath will be delayed. So I thought, better I come by this path. But then Mahaprabhu says, but that is very hot. The sand is so hot there. You just see, you got blisters on your feet. He says, oh, really? I did not realize. I was so much carried away by the thought that I have been called by you. I'm going to meet you, that I just did not feel the heat of that sand at all. So Mahaprabhu, so here also, Sanatana Goswami's humility is revealed. If we are called, first of all, we'll look for chappal only. Chappal is not there, then we have big question mark. But Sanatana Goswami, forget about chappal. He did not even consider the Simhadwaram gate. That let other service not get delayed because of me. So what is the problem? I'm so fallen. I'm so low class. I can come by this sandy beach. So this is utter humility of Sanatana Goswami. Mahaprabhu would be in bliss seeing the humility of Sanatana Goswami. Then after around 1 year or so, Sanatana Goswami goes to Sri Vrindavan Dham. And then his services there in Vrindavan begin. Rupa Goswami is there, Sanatana Goswami, these two are the eldest. They are the first ones to be in Puri. As such, before in Vrindavan, before that, Loknath Goswami and Bhugarava Goswami had been there. They had discovered the 12 forests, and then afterwards, within the forest, different pastime places had to be discovered by this Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and other 4 Goswamis. So they would be completely absorbed in their services there. The services given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They had to excavate the holy places. They had to build temples. They had to arrange for Lord's worship, write Bhakti Shastras, show by their example to everyone how to practice Bhakti. So they were doing all that. So when the devotees would come back from Vrindavan to Puri, then the Puri devotees would ask devotees from Vrindavan, so how are Rup and Sanatan? What are they doing? And then they would be informed. They are completely in ecstasy. They are doing their services very nicely. And Mahaprabhu also would be very happy to hear about all that. There are so many other pastimes. He was particularly residing on Dwadashaditya Tila in Vrindavan Dham, and in a very simple dwelling, rather no place only, under the tree only he was there. For Madan Mohan that he had obtained, Sanatana Goswami, once when he was begging alms, Madhukari he was doing in Mathura area. So Mathura area, there was one famous Brahman, Purushottam Chaube. He had the deity of Madan Gopal. When way back before Advaita Acharya had visited Vrindavan Dham under one tree, banyan tree, that is called as Advaita Vat now. So below that, he had obtained this beautiful deity of Madan Gopal. As long as Advaita Acharya was in Vrindavan, he worshipped that deity. When he had to go back to Shantipur, he was wondering what to do. So he went to Mathura and gave that deity to Purushottam Chaube, who was worshipping that deity. But because he was in Vatsalya Ras with Madan Gopal, he would treat Madan Gopal as his son, as his child. And he would, Madan Gopal was very naughty. Krishna is famous for that. So the deity would reciprocate so many things. Deity would become a human child, and Madan Gopal would go running on the street and play with many children and would not come home for a long time. So Purushottam Chaube would be very angry. He would take a stick and he would say, "Come on, Madan Gopal, come back home." And Madan Gopal would run and Purushottam Chaube would run behind. So this was observed by Sanatana Goswami. He was shocked and he asked Purushottam Chaube, "How can you behave with the Lord like this? Lord should be worshipped like, in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan with all awe and reverence. This is not the way. He's the Supreme Personal Godhead." He gave him all these teachings in Sambandha Gyan. So then Purushottam Chaube begged forgiveness. Sorry, it was not proper on my behalf, and I will henceforth take care. So then that night when Sanatana Goswami was sleeping and Purushottam Chaube was sleeping in Mathura, Lord came in the dream. Madan Gopal came in the dream of Krishna, came in the dream of Purushottam Chaube and said, "Now you are worshipping me like Supreme Lord. I am not so happy with all this. I would prefer to be worshipped by Sanatana Goswami. So tomorrow when he comes, please hand me over to him." And here in the dream of Sanatana Goswami also Lord revealed that you gave him such lessons about how to be performing Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakti. So now he is so much in awe and reverence with me. I cannot appreciate this. In his love, in Vatsalya Ras, he was worshipping me so nicely as his child. But now so much respect. So now you only worship me. You go to him, he will hand over me to you, and you please worship me. So then next day Sanatana Goswami goes and he gets the deity of Madan Gopal, who eventually became famous as Madan Mohan. So Madan Mohan was being worshipped by Sanatana Goswami on the top of that hill called Dwadashaditya Tila. After Krishna subdued Kaliya in the lake of that Kaliya Radh part of Yamuna, he was feeling terribly cold because water of Yamuna, he was there for a few hours. And apart from that, he was in the coils of snake like Kaliya. So snakes are famous for their cold bodies. So Krishna was feeling very cold. He goes on the top of that hill and 12 suns simultaneously appear. That's why it is called a Dwadasha Aditya Tila. They make Krishna's body very hot. Sweating happens. Sweat goes down and it is stored in one particular part of Yamuna. It is called a Praskandan Kund. That is just below Dwadasha Aditya Tila. On the top, that banyan tree is there. Sanatana Goswami would keep Madan Gopal in the hollow of the tree. because he had no place for himself. And for food, he would give him bati. Bati means wheat flour, just baked in the fire and given like that. So Sanatan Goswami and Madan Gopal, Madan Mohan, they had such intimate relationship. Once Madan Mohan asked that Sanatan, please add some salt in this bati. It is without salt. Make to make it little tasty. Add little salt. So Sanatan Goswami replied, I have not come here to give you all these kind of things. I have my services to the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Today you are asking for salt, tomorrow you'll ask for ghee. I cannot arrange all these things. There will be distraction in my service. If you want this, you may take. Otherwise, you may please go. We'll arrange to be under somebody. Then immediately Madan Mohan said, no problem. This will do. Without salt also is okay, but let me be with you only. So such very intimate relationship with the Lord. So, but still, because Sanatana Goswami was thinking there should be a temple for Lord, this is not good in the hollow of the tree. So, what to do? So, Madan Mohan knew this concern. So, one time while playing, when Madan Mohan went down the hill, there was one particular businessman whose this one ship landed there, and he wanted to give some kind of donation or something. Then Madan Mohan tells him that there is one Baba staying on the top, Sanatan Baba. So you can go to him, he will help you. So Sanatan Goswami helps him and he's very happy. So he wants to build a temple. Sanatan Goswami offers him that request. And why don't you build a very beautiful mansion kind of temple for Madan Mohan? So then that person was very rich. He builds Madan Mohan temple. That is very special place. Whenever Vrindavan means Madan Mohan temple, and that's where Madan Mohanji was installed. And Sanatana Goswami was very happy that Lord got a very beautiful place. Sanatana Goswami was also instructed by Madan Mohan to make his kutir at Pawan Sarovar. Pawan Sarovar is in Nandagram. So on just if you go down the hill across the street, there is Pawan Sarovar that was built by Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj would take bath there. So Sanatana Goswami would also stay there. He had his bhajan kutir there. Sanatana Goswami, when he wrote Hari Bhakti Vilas, he published it under the name of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. You can just imagine. People, in case you know some writers, when people are writing book, they go so mad because so much fame is going to come through writing book, and they make it so nice so that it will be very famous. Lot of copies will be sold, and there's no question of offering it to somebody else, that credit. But Sanatana Goswami was so humble that he wrote the book Hari Bhakti Vilas, but he published it under the name of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So I don't know what lesson to take from this, whether we would be able to write some book and publish it under some other devotee's name. But at least we should not take credit, and we can learn from Sanatana Goswami how to be so humble, not eager for prestige, adoration, distinction, etc. Once he came to meet Rupa Goswami on the bank of Radha Kund when Rupa Goswami was there. So Rupa Goswami had written one particular book. In that book, he had given the description of Srimati Radharani, and he had described her hair to be like this hood of a black cobra. Like these are the hair, and then braid goes like that. So like a black cobra with raised hood like that, black. So then when Sanatana Goswami happened to read that, he said, hey, Rupa, what have you written? This is not a proper description of Srimati Radharani's hair. So you please change it. He said, yes. Rupa Goswami said, I will change it. So then Sanatana Goswami left Radhakund area. He was going out. Currently where we have Lalita Kund, or opposite to Jiva Goswami's Radha Damodar temple in the Radhakund area. So when he saw that side, Lalita Kund side, there were some small girls playing. They were swinging on a swing. So one girl was sitting on that swing and other girls were pushing. So that particular girl who was sitting, so suddenly Sanatana Goswami saw that on her head, one black cobra had climbed and he was there. So immediately said, hey, Lali, take care. There is a cobra on your head. And then Lali, that small girl who was on the swing, she just looked at Sanatan and smiled and at once disappeared. The swing disappeared and all the girls disappeared. Sanatan Goswami was wondering, what was that? Was it a dream? Was it a reality? But then he understood that girl was none other than Srimati Radharani, and all the Ashtasakis, they were there with her. And her head was not having cobra, but her hair on the head, they were appearing to be like black cobra. So the description of Rupa Goswami is perfect. There is no flaw in that. So immediately he came back. He said, Rupa, that is perfect description. Please don't change it. I got realization of that. So please continue with the same description. So you can see how Sanatana Goswami was so much dealing with the Lord. When he was at Chakleshwar Mahadev in Govardhan area, he has his kutir there also. If we visit, we can see right on the bank of Manasi Ganga. So there he was staying, but there were so many mosquitoes there. They were troubling. So then some devotees requested him that Sanatana Goswami, so many mosquitoes here, you cannot write books properly. Why don't you shift to some other place? Then he thought, okay, if tonight also that problem is there, then better I shift to some other place next day morning. So Shivji stays there, Chakleshwar Mahadev. Chakreshwar Mahadev originally, because the Sudarshan Chakra, which was protecting Govardhan Hill when Krishna left at Govardhan Hill. So that Chakra resided there. So that is Chakleshwar Mahadev place. Lord Shiva is there as one of the Dhampas. He's Dhampal of that Govardhan area. So Chakleshwar Mahadev, Shivji, was very happy to have Sanatana Goswami. Chakleshwar Mahadev temple and Sanatana Goswami's Bhajan Kutir, that place. They are just next to each other only, so close. So Shivji did not want separation from Sanatana Goswami. He wanted association of Sanatana Goswami, such a pure devotee. So he came disguised as a Brahmin and he met Sanatana Goswami. He said, Baba, what are you doing? You seem to be winding up your luggage. Where are you going? He said, I'm planning to go leave this place. Why? What happened? So many mosquitoes here. I'm not able to do my service to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of writing books. So I thought better I leave, move from this place. So then Shivji in the form of that Brahmin says, don't worry, you stay here tonight. And if you find any trouble, then you may go tomorrow. But if you feel that not much trouble, you could continue staying here. Then Sanatana Goswami thought some Brajavasi Brahmin has come and he's requesting like this, better I follow that. So he said, okay, fine. And that night only Shivji called all the heads of demigod, those mosquitoes, and he warned them, come on, all the mosquitoes from here have to leave this place. Because Sanatana Goswami is getting disturbed and that's why he's thinking of leaving this place. I can't bear separation from Sanatana. So you have to leave this place. Tell all the mosquitoes. So all the demigods told the mosquitoes, get lost. You cannot stay in this area. So that night, absolutely not even one mosquito. So Sanatana Goswami thought, yeah, that Baba said properly only. So better I continue staying here only. So then Shivji was very happy. Yeah, we'll have association of Sanatana Goswami for more time. So Sanatana Goswami was so dear to Shivji. Shivji says in his teachings to Prachetas that those who worship me are not so dear to me as much as those who worship Krishna. Those who are worshippers of Krishna, devotees of Krishna, they are more dear to me than my own worshippers. To my worshippers, I give all the cheap gifts of this material facility that they want. But to Krishna's devotees, I offer them devotional service. Sanatana Goswami wrote 4 prominent books. The first one is Bruhat Bhagavatamrit, then Hari Bhakti Vilas, Dasham Tippani, and Dasham Charita. These are most prominent books of Sanatana Goswami. He wrote some more, but these are 4 most prominent. Every day he would do long parikrama of Govardhan. We do is smaller one, shorter one, that has only 21 kilometers circumference. But Sanatana Goswami would do 28 kilometers. That includes Chandra Sarovar, Petha, etc. Some more places. So he would go for long parikrama. But as he grew old, it was difficult, old body. It was difficult for him. Krishna felt compassion and Krishna appeared to him and said, Sanatan, please don't have to continue this circumambulation. Now you are very old. You have done a lot of devotions, are not required. He said, no, it's my regulation. I cannot change it. I must do it. So Krishna went on the top of Govardhan Hill, stood on one stone. He started playing his flute. As soon as he started playing his flute, the stone below his lotus feet started melting and his footprints got imprinted on that stone. Then Krishna took up that a stone, gave it to Sanatana Goswami. He said, you just circumambulate this stone, Govardhan Shila, and you will get the benefit of circumambulating Govardhan hill. So then Sanatana Goswami agreed. That Shila is now currently in Radha Damodar temple. If we request the pujaris, they bring in front. And that's why to Radha Damodar temple, we do 4 parikramas. Because Sanatana Goswami was told by Krishna, if you do 4 times parikrama to this, that is equivalent to entire Govardhan parikrama. So when we go, we do parikrama. And there are so many other samadhis also there. Sanatana Goswami left his body at Chakratirtha on Guru Purnima day. Guru Purnima we have somewhere in July or so, that period. So he left his body there, and all the Brajavasis were so much in love with Sanatana Goswami that all the male members, Brajavasis, they shaved their head. Just like when father leaves body, the sons shave their head. All the male Brajavasis, they shaved their head. That today Sanatana Goswami, our Guru, he has left body. So they were feeling separation. His body was brought from Chakratirth, Chakleshwar Mahadev area to where Dwadashaditya Tila is there. Behind, below, his samadhi, his body was put in samadhi. Now also that samadhi is available. Srila Prabhupada would often quote 2 verses of Sanatana Goswami. And now also one more thing that on Guru Purnima day, lakhs of Rajavasis do circumambulation of Govardhan, because every day Sanatana Goswami would do circumambulation of Govardhan. So in his memory, on Guru Purnima day, all the Rajavasis do circumambulation, lakhs of them in number. We do on that Bali Pratipada day, next day of Diwali, others do, but Rajavasis particularly do on this day, Guru Purnima, in memory of Sanatana Goswami, who they would accept as their Guru. Sanatana Goswami was so dear to them. Prabhupada would quote 2 verses of Sanatana Goswami, that Yatha Kanchana Tam Yati, Kansyam Rasa Vidhanatah, Tatha Diksha Vidhanena, Dijvattam Jayate Nrunam. Just like bell metal, when mixed with mercury, turns out to be gold. So similarly, any person, he may not be Brahmin born, but when he is purified through the process of Diksha by a bona fide spiritual master, then he becomes Dvijatva. He becomes second initiated, or he becomes Brahmin. So this was very famous. And other one, Avaishnava Mukhodgirnam Putam Harikathamritam Shravanam Naiva Kartavya Sarpochishtam Yathapayah. That one should not hear from Avaishnavas, those who are not devotees of the Lord, because they are having poison in their heart, because they don't have devotion for the Lord. So when they speak, only we are getting poison. And he says, milk, even though very pure, giving strength, but if it is touched by a serpent, poisonous cobra, then it becomes poisonous. Anybody drinks, he will die. So anybody who hears from Avaishnavas, who have no devotion for the Lord, his spiritual life will be at stake, will be in danger. That's why one should not hear from them. Madan Mohan deities are the deities of Sanatana Goswami. And Mother Uttara, when the deities were carved that time by Vajranab, so she said the feet of Madan Mohan were exactly like the feet of Krishna. So those deities were given to Sanatana Goswami by Lord's arrangement. And Madan Mohan ji is called as Sambandha Vigraha. We have Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. So if we want to be very strong in Sambandha, our relationship with Krishna and so many other technical things, so for that we need to pray to Shri Radha Madan Mohan. So those who get the blessings of Radha Madan Mohan, their Sambandha Gyan will be very clear. And similarly, in that way only, Sanatana Goswami is Sambandha Acharya. So by praying to Sanatana Goswami, we can become enriched in Sambandha Gyan. We will not have some kind of illusion, Brahm, Swatattva, Paratattva. What is that Tattva? We may not, sometimes we may get confused. Who am I? What am I doing? So much of confusion happens sometimes in devotional service. One is not very clear. That can be all cleared off by worshipping Madan Mohanji and particularly praying to Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami had built this temple of Madan Mohanji, and eventually when the Mughals attacked, then the deities were taken from Vrindavan to Radhakund area, and then eventually crossing Uttar Pradesh area. Then they were taken to Jaipur, etc. So these deities were there in Jaipur being worshipped by the king. But the daughter of the king, the princess, was very much in love with Madan Mohanji. When her marriage was fixed, she told her father that I cannot bear separation from Madan Mohan. How can I go to that place? He is here. So then father said, don't worry, we will give him also in dowry. He will be there. So she was there in Karoli. So in Karoli only Madan Mohanji was taken and a very beautiful temple was built. And currently Madan Mohan is in Karoli. So for Madan Mohanji, we have this prayer. Jayatam Suratau Pangor Mamamanda Matergati Matsarvaswapadambojo Radha Madana Mohano. So Jayatam Suratau Pangor Mamamanda Matergati. So Sanatan Goswami's mood that I am Manda. I cannot understand anything. But Jayatam Surato Pangor Mamamanda Matergati Matsarvaswa Padambojo. My Sarvaswa, my what do you call the whole possession, Matsarvaswa Padam Bojo, the two lotus feet of Radha Madana Mohana. So this is in short about Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami is epitome of humility, as we saw in his life. So many times it is revealed. He considered himself worthless. All acharyas are humble only, but Sanatana Goswami in particular, particularly at that sea beach, how he came by sandy beach, hot sandy beach, without considering other route, thinking that other services will be hampered. So that mode is very, very important. That is what is very pleasing to the Lord. Sanatana Goswami ki jai. Any question? Message about his life we cannot ask, but something, yes.
Two questions I had.
One at a time.
That Rup Goswami ran away, but Sanatana Goswami also could have run away and avoided 7 months of jail. So was some reason which we can
17 months.
17
Not
months, 17 months.
That I also don't know. But he had his duties. He did not want to escape in that way. He informed him, Nawab Hussain, that you please release me from my services. And when he was not ready, he was threatened to be imprisoned. He said, whatever you wish. So Nawab will get the time to think of what to do. This fellow is gone from my clutches. So that might be the thing, because he also stood up, as I said, and Prabhupada writes in the purport that when the king is the representative of the Supreme Lord, so he should be respected. So Sanatana Goswami stood up, all the Brahmanas stood up. So as I understand, Sanatana Goswami wanted to give him space, time, so that he could think of alternative. Otherwise, suddenly he left, then there would have been some trouble for Nawab Hussain Shah. So he gave him sufficient time. And more than that, Lord dictates great souls from the heart. That even eternal associates of the Lord, when they come to material world, material world means horrible place. They have to go through all this. He also must have preached to many people there. 17 months. He will not keep quiet, isn't it? So many other reasons might be there, but I don't know any particular, because I have not come across any commentary by any acharya. We just read the pastime. Commentary might be there. Bhaktivinoda Thakur might have written something, but at least I did not come across. Yes, second question.
Second question, like we read pastimes of Sanatana Goswami where he was walking on sand.
One more thing reminds me of this. When Shyam Sundar Prabhu, before meeting Prabhupada, only had got stuck with some drug peddling. So he is 6 months or something of jail imprisonment was there. So when he met Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I have to be in the prison for some time. He said, why? So because I was a drug addict, a druggist, a drug seller. Prabhupada said, I also used to sell drugs earlier. So then, and Prabhupada said, also Krishna was born in jail. So there is no problem. You can go there and you can preach there. So Prabhupada recommended being in the jail. Other time also, when devotees had what you call that, bail, on bail they could have been released. Prabhupada said, what is the need? They can be in jail and they can preach also. So devotees were preaching very nicely. So something like that might have been dictated to Sanatana Goswami. Yes.
And when we hear examples of Sanatana Goswami, that how for respecting the Brahmanas he went on the shore path So we get inspired, but when we see our life to come out of our own bodily comforts is not always very easy. It takes a toll. So what are the practical steps of a life of a sadhaka to come out of the bodily comforts? And
At least we can approach our superior or superiors and ask them, this is how I have been dealing. What are some more steps I could take? Like that. Or they are watching us also. They will tell us. Or at least they will give us instructions, some services. While doing them, automatically you'll be out of bodily concept of life. Because you'll have to extend yourself. Isn't it? You just can't. That's how we are all saved, because of the services Prabhupada created for us. If there had been no service in ISKCON, just then Prabhupada said ISKCON is a free hotel. Just eat nicely and sleep. That's what all brahmacharis would be doing then. Isn't it? So that is not how Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada gave us so many services, some missionary organization. So many activities are there. And GPCs are there watching. And they're asking each temple, so how many Rath Yatras, how many books distributed, how many devotees made, how many got initiated, how much this, how much that. So when we agree to be under them, then automatically over a period of time we'll come out of body concept of life. That's what Prabhupada told His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, that never leave ISKCON and consider GBC, to be the ultimate authority in ISKCON. So just follow them throughout life. And that's what Bhakti Charu Maharaj would always tell. Prabhupada gave me this instruction and I tell everyone. So when we are agreeing to be under such followers of Srila Prabhupada, we'll over a period of time automatically come out of bodily concept of life. You just can't, you cannot be just a senior devotee and eating and sleeping. You won't be accepted as a senior devotee. And they may say that he's a senior citizen of ISKCON. They will not accept as a senior devotee. You have to be quite active. Means one side you can say it's so much of pressure, but other side you can say it's ecstasy is also there. Either this way, that way, you are bound to come out of bodily concept of life. You just can't. You tell me any single devotee who is senior and respected in our organization, who is just peacefully eating, sleeping. He will not be respected. He has to do something or the other. At least the background services, deity worship, something he has to look after. He cannot just be peaceful, cozy. So just be in this compassionate mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and automatically you will be out of bodily concept. And more than that, if you want more, then your own immediate superiors who are watching you, they will guide you. Isn't it? Like any brahmachari goes to temple president or somebody and says, "No, Prabhuji, what is this? I don't have enough services here. I'm just eating, sleeping." What will that president do? He will trigger him like anything, isn't it? For more services. And he'll send him. So if we feel that we are in bodily concept of life, we are all anyway, but we want to come out, then we should just approach our superiors. Then they will give us so many services. So many that you will run away from them. I did. Yahara nikata gele papa dure jaye. All laziness. One of the papa is laziness, bodily concept of life. Just go close to great souls. All will be gone. And then they are merciful also. Ye mono dayala Prabhu keba kotha pai. Who could be so more merciful? By approaching whom all papa goes far away. Isn't it? It's a practical thing we could do. Apart from that, many things are there, but what happens, our own endeavor will not help us to come out of bodily concept of it. It's a divine mercy only. Through instruction, services coming, and when we do, then we come out. Otherwise, we cannot just do that by ourselves. Isn't it? We can certainly eat less. Then as we eat less, after a few days, we'll say, well, I think I'm becoming weak. Now I should eat like anything. And we'll eat like anything. In fact, in 11th canto, that's what Krishna guides Uddhav. That most difficult is tongue. If you starve, don't give, after some time, it will cheat you like anything. It will consume so much of food. Next day, Dwadashi or that Pando Nirjala Ekadashi, next day, how much we want to eat? Hey, yesterday, for so long, I have not eaten. And we take a lot, but because we have been fasting, the whole system does not allow you. Then you understand why I can't put much immediately. It has to take some few hours. Then you can eat normally. So on our own, it's not easy. Even if you are successful, apparently, or very soon you will again switch back. So better just accept more services, isn't it? What do you feel? You can also add.
No, we have a lot of service.
And we are chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we are begging for more services anyway. So more services will come. We will come out of bodily concept of life. And if you are just releasing some air from mouth, saying, I want more service, I want more service, you don't mean it, then you will not get test in chanting holy name. Krishna will say, come on, Radha Krishna will say, you are telling us that give more service. And when we offer service, you are saying no. So you will not get test in chanting Hare Krishna. So you are blocked. You are checkmated. Isn't it? Yes or not? So we are all checkmated. There's no escape now. Better we march forward only, chanting nicely, getting more services, doing more services, and our capacity will increase, and our bodily concept of life will be released. That will be going out. Yes. Somebody behind had a question. Okay, here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for concisely explaining full pastimes of Sanatana Goswami's of his entire life. My confusion or question is like we hear Sanatana Goswami rejecting the touchstone, like he doesn't want to. Whereas in other side we see Rupa Goswami saying that Prapanchikate Buddhya Hari Sambandhi Vastuna. If it is can be connected to Krishna, use it. Otherwise, it is a Falgu Vairagya.
Huh?
Falgu Vairagya.
He had not rejected in the sense that you threw it in the Ganges, kind of. That person had to do it. But ultimately, all the wealth of this world remains here only. If it could be used in the service of the Lord, fine. But otherwise, not required. That way, so much of wealth of India has gone to other countries, isn't it? And Lord did not mind it. So much wealth could have been there here only. So that is their principle. One who has it may use it. But different times, different principles also to be applied. That way, if we try to see then one Acharya, what he teaches, other Acharya will find he is not following it so much. But then another principle is being taught over there. So there the renunciation of Sanatana Goswami is in picture. He knew I have touchstone, Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. So what is the use of this touchstone? So that was in the garbage. And that man was guided by our Shivji. So when he came, then he took it. And when he wanted holy name, then Sanatana Goswami told him, you better reject this. So we don't have to mix, Rupa Goswami principle, Rupa Goswami has told, and we can follow it where it is required. But some other time, these other things also may be required. Just like that 7 gold coins also in that matter, then, he could have kept, then. Because that person was saying, no, it's okay, not required. He could have kept. No, he said, if you don't take it, somebody else will kill us for that. Better you take it. So wealth, sometimes we may have to give it up. Yes. That's why we should ask our superiors, how to apply it.
This when Sanatana Goswami was in jail, we tell that he gave some gold coins. Like, my doubt was, did he, while they're catching him and bringing him to the jail, did he have some gold coins with him, or like from where did he get that gold?
That was with the grocer. And they were allowed that. The wealth and all can come to the criminal, the prisoner inside. If it is his wealth, it will come. So it was kept in his name with the grocer. So when he requests, my such wealth is there, would you bring it here? So it will be brought. Certainly they will see, just like, at the airport, they have so much, check whether something is there, by which he'll escape. That will be done. But apart from that, wealth can be there with the criminal. It is his wealth. Otherwise, why will, in the first place, Rupa Goswami keep with the grocer? The grocer only will run away, or so many other things could happen. That is, in those days, that all integrity was there. And the rules also allowed, that's how it was kept. Yes, any other?
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we'll end here.
Online, there is one
You
question.
have a question, or he's wondering
online,
whether question
there was
can be
one
taken
question.
now?
Somebody can read out there.
Savarna Gaur Hari Prabhu.
There's a question here. What is the mood of Purushottam Chobe, as in Vatsalarus, when he is given the Madan Mohan to Sanatan Goswami? He missed the service, right?
Lord's desire, no? Devotees don't mind. So Lord's desire is highest. And not that that service is gone, so now he'll be just he will have so many other services. The bhava will remain. Okay, any other? No. Okay. So other questions we'll take at 11 o'clock in our next sitting. Shri Sanatan Goswami ki jai, Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktarunda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
It's great. Sundarshyam Prabhu ki jai.
So we'll assemble back at 11 o'clock here, all the brahmacharis. So we'll have bhajans by Sundarshyam Prabhu and question answers. Hare Krishna.
We'll wait for
The brief schedule is like this:
See the
11
darshan
o'clock
of the Lord.
session begins, then 12 to 2 o'clock, and 2 o'clock we'll have a session on discussion by His Grace Antardeep Prabhu. Hari Om. And then 3:30 to 4:30 will be bhajans, kirtans, and dancing kirtans till 4:30. 4:30 prasadam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll end the meeting now. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna. We'll see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpadarbhisya kripa sindhubhyavasya paridana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.